The summer of best ball continues. We're back. Draft-a-Palooza, drafting best ball teams 3 times a week at noon or whenever. Draft-a-Palooza. It's a palooza. Everybody loves a palooza. No matter what kind of palooza it is. It's fun to do. Guys, we're taking a look at, I'm switching back. We're going to DraftKings this week. Or for today. We're going back to DraftKings. We've given Underdog a lot of love. I still say Underdog is doing it right with multiple different kinds of formats. I really like that. I like what they're doing. DraftKings only one boring format, but no one does DraftKings. The drafters on DraftKings are softer, and one thing that we're getting now that we won't have later is we're drafting in the same contest on DraftKings right now that will exist all the way through the summer, right up until the end, most likely. So we're getting that maybe advantage, maybe disadvantage, but I tend to think advantage in terms of just in a GPP style contest. There's an advantage to drafting super early in the sense that like some of the players that we're looking at late will move up later in drafts. They'll move up later in the year. People are learning more and more. I was going to do the play action, guys, because it's $3 contest, and it's like if you want to participate, it's easier than in a Millie Maker. So I'm just going to do the $3 play action. But my main point is, this is a GPP contest. GPPs, you want to be a little different, right? No chalk. So most of the people are going to draft in this thing closer to draft time, and they'll have ADPs that are adjusting and changing from what we're seeing today. There are some names that I've been up on, down on. There's news coming out of camps that are either positive or negative. One thing, we just got to pay attention to that. Guys will rise or fall. And a little philosophy I have is later on, you don't want to get a riser. I'll give you a perfect example. Last year, if you were following my videos and you're doing any of this, we were all over Ladd McConkey early, all off season last year. Loved McConkey. Wes Welker 2.0. Go back and watch the videos, right? He ended up one of the best wide receivers of the year, especially after Herbert healed up and like he started off the season with a busted ankle. As soon as he got good, really McConkey was going off. So in the early offseason, I was getting him at pick 95, 110, that far back. By the time we got to the actual season, I still thought it was a bargain, but you were paying pick 65, 67, 68 for McConkey. So the teams I had that had McConkey at pick 100 had advantage over the other ones. Of course, McConkey had a really strong run at the end of the year, but they had a big advantage because I had extra stud players on those teams that other people didn't have who had to take him in round 5, right? So just a little note. All right, 32nd pick. DraftKings, weaker than Underdog in terms of your competition. People in DraftKings, here we go. We're hitting enter. So on DraftKings, people are doing drafts on their toilet. They're not just like casual DraftKings users, a little extra money. On Underdog, everybody on Underdog, everyone is like really into best ball. They're all paying attention. They're all looking at rankings. They're all taking best ball really, really serious. On DraftKings, it's like, hey, I'm in the middle of doing my MLB lineups. Let me take a break. I'll throw in a best ball team. Yeah, Ivan, we have a live. We are live anyway. So this is filled up. I was going to show you, but we have a live kind of I think DFS Army best ball sleeper league going right now. We're in round 3. Yeah, Ladd McConkey just went. 2 Ivan Drago. Some of the crew here from these videos, and we're putting out a couple of these other ones. So like if you guys are interested in doing like league best ball stuff, let us know. We've got some guys who are doing commissionering, and Sleeper is a really good format for that. We can do them on Sleeper and just set up leagues amongst friends. 1 year, redraft leagues, fun to do. Why not? Slow draft, the whole deal. So let us know in the comments if you guys are interested in doing those. We've got some potential people doing commissionering and league safe and the whole shit. So safe, just fun, good times, that kind of thing. So if you're thirsty for some leagues, that's a good way to do it. All right. Yeah. Let Tattoo know. Yeah, there we go. Nathan Kohler's been drafting at 4 a.m. Best time to draft. Most people are drunk, on drugs, or just tired. Yeah, that is good. I mean, you can work that out, Nathan Kohler. That is good. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's see who's with us. Got some DFS Army heads in the draft with us. I see UCF is here. What's up, UCF? Jaguar. Ivan Drago, as usual. Myself. There's Tattoo. All right. Small crew in here. 3 of us in this draft together. 3 or 4 of us. Looks like UCF got the 2-hole. I'm picking towards the end. Ivan Drago in there in the middle. And, nothing new here. DraftKings, fast format. The big thing, there he is. What's up? The big thing about DraftKings, this is full PPR. There are bonuses for 100 yards. So DraftKings, the way I play it a little different. DraftKings definitely having stud wide receivers, a little more edgy, a little more good than it is on Underdog, where running backs and touchdowns are the ultimate determining factor. DraftKings, you might actually, fill up your flex with wide receiver work, whereas an Underdog, your flex would almost always need to be a running back or some touchdown scorer. That's the big difference. So on Underdog, I feel compelled to have at least 3 and ideally 4 running backs that I feel really, really good about that can score most weeks. On DraftKings, not as worried about that. You're going to get big scores from your wide receivers, and you can kind of squeak your way through with running backs. So that it's just the difference in the scoring, and that's kind of how the 2 sites work slightly differently. Let's see how the draft is going and see if it kind of mirrors that. So Bijan, 1 overall. Nick B just switching it up. People do like to switch it up like that, just to not have the same team as everybody else drafting 1 overall. So Nick B makes that little change. UCF with the chalk, Ashley chalk, and we've gone chalky the rest of the way here. So one big difference between Drago playing it Underdog style, grabbing Derrick Henry there. So one big difference I was just going to say between the 2 formats is all of the good running backs tend to be gone really, really early on Underdog. I'm going to take Malik Neighbors. Love Malik. Love Malik. Tattoo on the turn here. So anyway, yeah, the big thing with Underdogs, I feel really compelled to come out of the first couple rounds with multiple running backs. Whereas here in this format, I'm okay with multiple wide receivers early and then going running backs late. Of course, if you're going to leave me Devon Achane, I'm going to take him here with my second pick. So we started out pretty strong with Neighbors and Achane. Achane's a stud. Guys, Achane in games with Tua healthy. Now, I don't want to, predict injuries or whatnot. But Achane with healthy Tua was the GOAT. His production was crazy. Now, potentially even less competition for touches. Averaged 18 fantasy points per game, but there's a whole stretch of no Tua games right here where he got these terrible scores. And then Tua comes back and he goes right back to putting up 20s and 30s. This is an unbelievable player, but he's wildly tied to Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah, let them get weird, by the way. Let them get weird. What's the best team I've drafted? I don't even know how to judge like that, Nathan Cole. That's a good question. I genuinely don't know how to judge that. I've had some teams where beautiful, I can't remember everything, but where beautiful stacks have just come to me, kind of flowed naturally to my team. And those are the ones I love the most. There's one I think where I have Caleb and I got pretty much every Chicago player that could tie in with Caleb. And I really like that one. I've done ones where I've got Trevor Lawrence and all of those wide receivers. Those are deliberate. Honestly, the ones that finish the best. But a lot of times it's like when I come in deliberate and start thinking about like, oh, I'm going to force a stack of this, you know, those kind of feel good on paper. Do they result well? I don't know. You know, who knows? I don't think you can know. I feel good about every team I draft. What I feel bad about is like when I'm waiting on a player and I don't get him. Like right here, UCF Jaguar, right? He's got Chase and Higgins. So he's looking at that team, the negative to this is going to be a very common build from 1 or 2. But when you get Chase and Higgins, I'm sure UCF is thinking maybe here around 411, Burrow will be there, right? Or maybe Nick B will notice that and grab Burrow and not let him have him. Or maybe he'll jump Burrow early, like right now, or even in the next one. And, you know, like those are those situations, right? So I got Chase and Higgins and Burrow. I felt good about it. But I also feel like a million people will have that combination just because it's really easy to get that combo. It almost like forces the combo when you start right there. So anyway, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Yeah, who knows? Let's get the comments on screen. I like this little feature here with the streaming software where the comments show up on the screen. That's a cool thing. Guys, I did a really kind of stupid bet. I won it. That's why you see my account pop a little bit here. I bet a couple grand on OKC just to win the series this year at minus 700. I normally don't do minus 700 odds things, but I was like, they're winning. And Pacers suck. You know, I was like, as if I know. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm doing it. And then I shit bricks the whole time. You know, I shit bricks the whole time. Pacers win in those early games. I was like, I can't believe I bet $2,000 to win, you know, $300-400. Like, what the fuck was I thinking? There goes Chase Brown. I was hoping for him. Get Kyron here. Yeah, I'm going to do Kyron Williams. I don't love Kyron as much this year as I have. Yeah, we'll do Kyron. I mean, I could have seen going with Cook or even Omari and Hampton there, but I went with Kyron. Now, here's another thought I have with best ball, and we're drafting some season-long best ball teams now. You know, so you start to think about, all right, you know what I could have done? I'm coming up on my next pick. So possibility here to take QBs as well. Certainly. Oh, the running backs I wanted are gone. So I'm going to go with DJ Moore here. And I might start floating my way to a Chi-Town stack, which is one of the stacks I kind of like this year. All right, so my team now has Achane, Kyron Williams, Neighbors, and DJ Moore. I mean, couldn't ask for a better start than that group of players. Looking at the QB spot, Stud still available. There goes Jaden Daniels, who should go there. That's a good spot for him. Running back group. The guy who's falling the most for me is RJ Harvey. Just be careful. I'm being extra careful with him. I don't think he's dropped enough in ADP yet to where I think he should go. So he hasn't dropped quite enough for me as far as where I think he should drop to. George Kittle on borrowed time right now. Yeah, there's some players late I just think have so much pop potential this year. I'm kind of discovering those names as we've done all these drafts. There goes Burrow. Let's see if that worked out for yes, it did work out for UCF. So You didn't actually have to. So I'm gonna give you one thing, UCF. Just a thought here was that because Nick B had taken Josh Allen, so this is just a little strategy thing for the future. Because he had taken Josh Allen, he was not going to take another quarterback. Yeah, but he wasn't. He has Josh Allen. If he took another quarterback, that would be insane. So you could have probably waited here. Now, would it have made a difference? I don't know. Would you have taken Worthy or Waddle in that spot? You know, that's your choice. But like, I don't know. But I'm just saying, he probably wasn't going to take Josh Allen there. Like, Nick B, I don't think is somebody here in the chat who would like do that to troll. I don't think that person's in this chat. So, but I get it. So a weird situation with this one player here, Ashley 9696. I don't really get taking Bowers and George Kittle. I think that's pretty weird. So, yeah, weird. This dude, Hurts, combines him with Devontae Smith right there. Ivan Drago in here with Daniels and no stack. Feels a little naked. See what you do. Now I'm going to start to prep for my pick here. QB is Mayfield. Let's see what's going on with ADP right now. Kamara. I'll be up in a minute. I don't like the running backs. Pickens is there. QBs are Mahomes. You know, I don't have any Mahomes exposure really, but I didn't get any of his stack people, so I'm not going to be into that one. Mahomes is gone anyway. I think we got to go wide receiver. So looking at the wide receiver group that are available here, I really like the idea of I'm not Pickens. No, I don't want that. Hunter, okay, kind of, but I've got nothing stackable. So I'm just going to go with George Pickens there and see if George Pickens seems like the perfect player for Dallas. We'll see. We'll see. But I think he'll have those big games. I like Ridley. You know, there's certain players that are really popping for me. You guys know you've been watching these. You've been watching all these videos, the same ones I go back to. Matthew Golden. All right, so Sean Hoy says, what's my take on Matthew? I'm hearing mixed things, overhyped or way lost in the wide receiver shuffle out there. Matthew Golden is one of those names. He kind of reminds me of Brian Thomas Jr. last year when no one was super excited about it going into the season. But then, you know, he broke everything. So I think there's a lot of potential with Golden. Where was I? Swift. Okay. Holy shit, that was crazy. All right, so with Golden, a lot of potential, a lot of upside. Like him for best ball. But it's crowded. Part of the reason people have apprehension is because everybody got excited for Jalen Reed before last season. He winds up a 60% on the field guy. Romeo Doubs out there 90% of the snaps still. So it's like, where is Golden fitting in with this group? You've got Doubs. You've got Reed. You've got Wicks. Doubs, Reed, Wicks, Golden. I think there's even another name on that team that I'm not even thinking of right now. So, but even if there isn't, it's just a lot of mouths to feed. But I do like Golden, and I think he's probably the best of those guys. But he's a deep ball threat initially. I think he's good for best ball, certainly early on. There goes Connor. So I ended up taking Swift. I think Swift is one of my risers this year, guys. Interesting that Pacheco went there as well. This guy's doing something I would say is pretty weird. Very heavy running back group early. I took Swift here. Considered the tight end. Thought about Connor. Went with Swift. I think Swift has a lot of potential in the in the Chicago offense with the new revamped offensive line, the whole thing, and they didn't replace him at all. So it's like, yeah. Yeah, Christian Watson, he's not going to be healthy. That's right. Christian Watson's always hurt. So I guess Golden steps into the Christian Watson role. Watson gone. By the way, Christian Watson, forget it. His career is done. Too many injuries. You can't get injured that much. Once you're injured that often, your career is toast. There's Ray. What's up, brother? Once you're injured as much as Christian Watson is, it's done. I don't care. Your leg, your hammy, it's too much. I feel the same a little bit about Jonathan Brooks. Like, if you don't start your career off strong, get some health in, I think your career just fizzles and doesn't work out with the NFL. I've seen it too many times. It's rare. Sometimes they do kind of make a weird late career comeback, but those guys can like hang around. I'll give you an example of somebody who like made a late career resurgence after having an injury riddled early career. There's a running back named Deontay Foreman. He's still floating around. And, he looked like a promising player. Everything was exciting. Everything was cool. And then it just kind of all went to shit. And he never recovered from it. Ricky Pearsall, by the way, I didn't want to say it before, but Ricky Pearsall is my guy this year. Like, I'm taking Ricky. Here's my Lad McConkey of this year. I will have Ricky Pearsall on most of my teams. Don't like it? At me. Yeah, Garrison Hurst. Like, I don't remember Garrison Hurst's career that closely. I remember him. Did he get hurt early on? Like, so you get hurt early on. It's rare that they eventually kind of like stop getting hurt all the time and become a player. It's just not that common. All right, I got to pick in a second. I don't have a quarterback. We got to start thinking about, can we build stacks? I want to get Caleb Williams in there, but it's too soon for him. Baker's just good, but I like stacking him. Should I keep building? Is Purdy gone? No. Wide receiver. I'm going Diggs. Diggs is one of these guys I'm taking a lot also. Diggs, the downside is large with Diggs. I think the floor, that it doesn't work out is really low for Diggs this year. Like, it really can. There's a good potential for it not to work out with Diggs. But if it does work, who else are they throwing to? Right? He's on a Patriots team that just doesn't have anybody else. So I know it's sketchy. No one likes Stephon Diggs, but where I just got him, I like a lot. Let's see what Darnell Mooney. Yeah, that's a good pick there. Jaden Reed. This is sketchy. So like here in this case, we had Jaden Reed go ahead of Golden, right? Oh no, Golden went and then Jaden Reed went. So yeah, actually that's fine. This dude is just grabbing all the rookie running backs. I think these guys are okay too. Judkins, good running back on a very bad team, probably. Caleb Johnson, I like that spot. I think that's fine, right? You should do just fine with Caleb Johnson. Ashley pulls off the Godwin Mayfield stack. UCF gets Ayuk there. I thought you might leave Ayuk for me. Ayuk's got all kinds of issues going on this year. Torn ACL and MCL in his right knee. Positive impression with his recovery. Putting in the work. It's incredible how well he's healing. Blah, blah, blah. It's not clear when he'll be ready for game action. So will Ayuk be ready to start the season? We shall find out. Jawan Jennings, Ayuk. Oh, here we go, UCF. That's what I like, the planning. So you end up taking Purdy. I was hoping to steal him later on. That's fine. I get it. Yeah, Swift, my main thing with Swift is slowing down. He's young. He's 26, 25, 26. They had no offensive line, terrible offensive design last year. Was he having trouble his whole career? Swift has been very mid for what he is, a highly drafted player. He's been very mid for his whole career, admittedly, right? So he's been very mid, admittedly. Javonte. Let's sort by ADP here, just so I can see what's going on. Keon Coleman there. Mark Andrews. Not much going on at tight end. Wide receiver floundering. Running back group melting. Tight ends, not many left. I'm going to go with Janu. He goes flying like no other. Yeah, I mean, and yeah, listen, he's been on a bunch of teams, first round draft pick. I think the biggest sign that we need to pay attention to with Swift is they did not replace him. That's all that matters, guys. They didn't replace him. Marvin Mims, nice pick there, Tattoo. That's one of those situations where if it wasn't like this friendly group of people who are all like we've been drafting against one another a lot, if it wasn't that, I want the Drake May. Yeah, here we go. So I combined Drake May with George Double Tap Pickens. With Drake May on my team, I could still. This is a late buildable stack with May. You know, he's got some players that go along with him that will be available, you know, over the next few rounds. Because the rest of the wide receiver group is so unimpressive that we could just take them later on. Let's see what's going on here. So I've got my 3 running backs, Achane, Kyron, and Swift. We'll have to add to that. We've got a skinny stack so far built with May and Swift. Or May and Diggs, I mean. So that and that's about it. That's our start. We got unstackable pieces with Neighbors. DJ Moore, I wouldn't mind it stacking. Pickens, interesting, but I feel like we should try to do some drafts where we get Dak, Lamb, and Pickens as well. I think that'd be a really nice little triple stack, and even Ferguson, the tight end. Yeah, I got to remember when you're in the draft with me, not to do the San Francisco stack. I always end up looking at Purdy though, because I try to take Pearsall as much as I can. I'm going with a prediction this year that Pearsall will outplay his ADP. We'll see if it's true, but I do have a basis for it. But I'm relying on a few things happening for that to work out. One of which is just like Ayuk just not being that guy anymore. So that's one of the way. And then I'm just kind of thinking he has the first round draft capital. Why wouldn't it be him over Juwan Jennings, or why can't they both really shine in this offense that the San Francisco offense, when it's clicking, can produce usually 2 really, really good scores most weeks. And they only have right now they have 4, 5, 6 guys who can get those scores. You add in Kittle, think about Juwan, Pearsall, McCaffrey, and maybe Ayuk. Yeah, get as many of the 4. I'm fine with that too, DQ 105. Get all the 49ers. I'm fine with that. Okay. All right, let's see. I'm coming up again here. We got a quarterback. Let's see what's on the board. Bashal Tootin, not much going on at running back here. Wide receiver group, still some good ones. Oh, we got to get our stack, but no, that's a little too soon. We're at pick 129. We'll get him on the rebound here. We don't have much going on at tight end. Somebody takes Tua there. I have Janu Smith. Could I get another good tight end in here? Yes. Let's see. Wide receivers, running backs, anybody that is a starter? No. QB group, Herbert, Stroud, Trevor Lawrence. Okay. You know what? Should I just do it? No. We're going to go Keon Coleman here. I can't jump ADP that intensely. Running back group, Garendo's there, Trey Benson, Jalen Wright, I would like to try to get later. QB group, I'll still need more quarterbacks, that's for sure. So let's take a look at my team so far. Neighbors, Moore, Pickens, Janu Smith. There's no quarterback that I'm going to be seeing that has any kind of correlation. All right, so let's go Kyle Williams to sort of fill out this this Drake May stack, and that's going to be, this team is a Drake May, Kyle Williams kind of stack. And that's what it is, right? We've got a bunch of picks left. So looking at my team right now, guys, stay with me. I want to go through the philosophy of this team. And this is when you're doing best ball, this is what we all need to be thinking about. Luxury player versus mid player. If I spent capital on a spot early in the draft, if I spend capital early on that position group, I cannot spend it late. If I waited on a position group, I want to spend capital there. So I'll address this. Yeah, Pickens, just let's see what he could do with an accurate quarterback. And by the way, Pickens will not be the one commanding attention. That's CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb requires safety help over top. So Pickens will be open. And if Dak can get him the ball, and we know Dak can throw the deep ball, I think we could see the best year out of Pickens on a team that throws a lot more than his last team, by the way. The Steelers only going to throw the ball 20 times a game. So whole new world for Pickens. He can really elevate himself. But I think we're paying the price for that. But let's get back to my draft here real quick. So I spent some early draft capital on running backs, of course, and on wide receivers. We got Kyron, we got Malik. We got some good wide receivers already, 4 of them. 5 of them already. 6. We got a bunch of wide receivers, right? 7. Too many. No more wide receivers. So now I need to spend my capital on quarterbacks, tight ends, and running backs because I didn't spend capital early on those positions. So I'm light at quarterback. I'm light at tight end. I'm light at running back. So that's where there's Wandy. Love Wandy this year. But love that group. I would have taken, tight ends going real quick. Now quarterbacks, and this is it. The run on those positions is happening right now. So let's see what we got. Can still get a decent quarterback. Let's see who the tight ends are. Still plenty of good tight ends available here. So probably going to go quarterback first. Yeah, we're running out of quarterbacks. They just went nuts. What the hell, chat? You guys watching and listening? Jeez. Bryce Young or Matthew Stafford. I don't have any sort of correlation with any of these guys. By the way, I like Sam Darnold too this year. It's no problem there, but let's go Bryce Young, get a little bit of that youth. No correlation there. Maybe I could pick up a Leggett or something, to go along with him. Let's see anything else going on here at wide receiver group. The tight ends, there'll be more and more available, so I can get that filled out with lots of names. It's, keep going down the list. They're everywhere. So there's plenty of those. Wide receivers, again, we're overloaded. I also need my backups at running back. So, yep, there goes Leggett. Why? Why are you guys doing this to me? Make me look bad in front of my people. Making me look bad. We're at 159. I got to do it. Just got to get that third quarterback in there. This team, I think, is too soft without the extra quarterback, just because May is not a premium QB. Bryce Young is definitely not a premium QB. And May and Bryce Young have the same fucking bye week, so that's not good. I got a lot of these week 14 buys on this team. That's not ideal. Luckily, most of them are coming on my bench, but that's definitely not ideal. Neighbors, so I want to pay attention to that as well. Week 14 seems like a monster bye week. Week 14 is the monster bye week. I always get a lot of players with buys that week. See what the draft is doing. So let's just follow along in real time. I can't really do a full assessment of most of these teams, but yeah, UCF looks like 2, 4, 6, and 2, pretty well rounded. Ivan Drago, 2, 4, 5, and 3. Already 3 tight ends, Ivan Drago. It's a lot of tight ends early. I'm at 7 wide receivers early. Wide receivers on DraftKings are king, so I'm fine with that. There goes Jalen Wright. Why would you do that, Nick B? So jerky. I like Tillman. Good pick. Jones and Richardson go to Lexi Dog. Just covered that team right there. Oh, Hunter Henry. Why? Why would you do that? I was waiting on Henry. It's going to pair him up beautifully with with Drake May. No reason. Just fucked my stack for nothing. I was absolutely excited about getting Henry in that Drake May stack. They screwed me. Running backs are pretty much toast. QBs are done. Jackson Dart will play late season. I want to do that. Wide receiver group whittling away to nothing. Justice Hill floating around. I like Will Shipley as the late season surge. If Saquon gets hurt, right? That late season surge with Will Shipley, why not, right? Worth a shot. I got a question for you guys in the audience. So, all right, drafters, friends, Draft-a-Palooza people. Think about BestBall, and I want you to tell me, do you think it's better to handcuff your running backs, or would you rather take other people's handcuffs and then try to win the tournament that way? Like, for example, if I took HN, Jalen Wright's floating around. Should I take him? Does that help me win? Or is it better for someone else to take him and say, if you took HN in round 2 and he gets hurt, you're probably not winning anyway. So differing philosophies. Maybe you should take other people's handcuffs, because in a cash game, sure, you want to take your own handcuff. But in a tournament, maybe it makes more sense to take other people's handcuff and surge late and try to win the league that way. Whereas those of us who take the early handcuff or take a handcuff for yourself, like you're kind of like trying to cash, almost like that approach is more of a cash game way. It's like if I lose Christian McCaffrey and Garendo's coming on strong late, but I don't really get the same benefit as the person who doesn't have Christian McCaffrey who takes Garendo. Do you understand the difference there? Like that's kind of like what I'm thinking as far as handcuffing goes. It's almost better not to handcuff. It is better because somebody's going to have Garendo that didn't take McCaffrey. They have a stud in round 1 and Garendo, and your team has McCaffrey, so they got nothing there. And Garendo, fine, you're hanging around, but you're not doing better than the ones that took the handcuff naked. So maybe you should never handcuff in a GPP tournament like this because of that. Like, don't look for handcuffs. Just look for anybody who can come on strong late in a season and lead your team to victory. Yeah, definitely don't reach for them. Now, it's interesting because that approach is really different from what I would do in, for example, the season-long best ball team that we're all doing some of. Like, we're doing these season-long redraft style best ball contests, 1 year only, right? In that contest, I think you do handcuff. It's season long. It's more like a cash game. You want to sort of like just build a good team that can finish in the top 3. And your biggest concern in those season long teams is probably, and should be, much more on the area of, oh, here we go. Going to just pair up Jatavian Sanders with Bryce Young for that little skinny mini stack right there. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm thinking is in a season long format. Yes, handcuff definitely, right? Make sure, especially in best ball where there's no waivers, you want to make sure that you're constantly refreshing, bringing in new names, right? But in the tournament style format, like what we're drafting here, somebody's going to have that handcuff that didn't waste a pick early on the starter. So that team is automatically going to be better than yours. And in a situation where we're drafting against 500,000 teams, I think there's actually no point in handcuffing. Like you said, Ivan, the only exception I'd make is a handcuff that also plays. Like, I'll use the example from Miami where the backup running back might not even be the backup. Like with Achane and Jalen Wright, it's possible they're just 1A and 1B, just like Mostert and that was 1A and 1B with Achane, so that they're a useful player regardless. I would say the Jets, like Braylon Allen is like that. Ray Davis on the Bills is like that too. There are certain players that they might be beneficial. They're fine. They're useful. Algier, like they have some usefulness outside of if the starter gets hurt. And I think I'd make an exception there. But for a straight, like, injury required, probably like a Trey Benson situation with James Conner, where like probably needs the full injury to really be relevant. Should we cuff that, or should we just be taking Trey Benson on our non-Conner teams? Because the last thing you want, if you lose your guy, I don't know. That's where I'm going with it. I think the correct move is not to handcuff in tournaments. Avoid the handcuff. We're to the last couple rounds. Underdog cuts off at round 16 or 18. DraftKings gives you these 2 extra rounds to like squeeze in some. My overall feeling with these last couple rounds is if you can get anything out of the players at this point, anything at all, you're doing well. Like if you could grab a guy in these last couple picks that is any kind of useful at all for your team, you're already winning by default. A lot of times we're taking these backups. Yeah, I'll just go Tolbert. Actually, Coker. Let's go Coker here. Just another piece with Bryce Young. Coker kind of requires an injury in order to be relevant. I don't really see him like being super relevant, period. But I think a Thielen injury would probably have to happen for Coker to become relevant. But, would it shock anybody if 39-year-old Adam Thielen gets hurt? So, like, yeah. All right. Taysom Hill's a no-no, guys. He is not coming back. So let me just look at my positions. I've got 3 QB, 5 running back, 8 wide receiver. I'm pretty much where I want to be. Wouldn't mind like another like injury kind of Wide running back, a miracle. Let's go for Ollie Gordon. Devin Neal could have been interesting. I'm off Woody Marks now that they have Nick Chubb or whoever they got somebody there. So Woody Marks less interesting. What about Cam Akers as a late pick? Could have gotten Tolbert on the next pick as well. Tolbert occasionally has a good game, he'll have some relevant games here and there. Yeah, this is not bad. You want those guys that are on the field. Ben Sinnott is really interesting. Ben Sinnott should really go to the person that has Jaden. There you go, Ivan Drago. Good pick. Ivan Drago, always a good team. UCF, let's see what you did here. We'll do a little recap of this draft, but UCF, the people here in the room. So we got UCF in here, Chase Higgins, Irving, and then Burrow completes the stack. Sutton and Jennings going for that second stack with Purdy. There it is. So double stack it. Got Montgomery, touchdown scorer. A little softer running back, but I do like Dobbins, Tajay Spears with some upside. Yeah, it's a good overall team. Keenan Allen there, round 16. Keenan Allen is one of those names also. Look at Calvin Austin going this high. But Keenan Allen is one of those names that if he gets signed to a team, picking him in round 16 is going to seem like the bargain of a lifetime. So well done there. B. Smith, do you have... There's a couple backups there. Dart could play late. I don't mind it either. Could play late. Unlike Tank Dell or Ashley went... This person was auto-drafting after a while. Let's just stay in the room. So you have a dead team here kind of with two stud tight ends. We'll see how that works out. Ivan Drago. Always a well-thought-through approach. Generally a well-thought-through approach. Let's see here. We got Derrick Henry, Kenny Walker, couple solid anchor running backs, McConkey, Smith, and Jigba, stud QB with his wide receiver. K-Shaq, Darnell. I like those names just in general. We got Charbonnet in there backing up Kenny Walker. So this is a classic example. Should this handcuff be taken? We'll see, right? I don't think so. I'd rather have Charbonnet on a team that doesn't have Kenny Walker on it. But if I have Kenny Walker, all right, and Charbonnet falls to me, okay, I'm not going to say no. That's fine. Ramondre. Now, everybody forgot about Dre. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, a couple of tight ends here. Lots of tight ends. Lots of backup running backs. There it is. Soup's got the fresh cut. Nice. Do you go to a barber shop when you get a cut? Or do you go to like a hair salon? Or like a Supercuts? Go for the cheapo chain place? I don't have that much hair. I like going to the barber shop because they give you they bust out the straight razor, start shaving stuff on you. You're like, yeah, dude, get that. Get that. Little hot shaving cream action. All right. My team came out of the first 6 rounds, 3-3, well-balanced. Neighbors, stud. DJ Moore, stud. George Pickens, backup, but potential stud. Occasional stud. Achane needs a healthy quarterback. Kyron Williams, not sure how I feel about him. Kyron Williams, the wild card here. Swift, a wild card. My running backs are a wild card on this team. I don't love Kyron. I don't hate him. I don't love him. It's like, look what happened last year. When they had all the healthy wide receivers, his targets just stopped for a while. Like, he was getting all these targets, and then like the 7, and then like 6, it was like, oh, he's going to be a target hog, right? And then Cooper Kupp came back last year, and it was 0, 0, 1, 2, 2. Like, what the fuck happened to his targets? 2, 3, 2, 1. He went from 6, 7, 6, 7 to 2, 3, 2, 1, right? Concerning. But he scored a lot of touchdowns. And, you know, the negative is I think that Devontae Adams is a much better wide receiver, much more fresh than what Cooper Kupp was. Last year they had injuries. Could they have injuries again? Maybe. So, like Puka, what if he doesn't last? Yeah. See, tattoo goes for, to the salon for the ladies, the tatas. I get that. Give you the, touch your head a little bit. Where else can you get a pretty girl to touch your head? Get a haircut. Anyway, so where was I? That's me. So Kyron Williams, sketchy. Swift, sketchy. But I love my wide receivers. I have Pierce Hall everywhere. I've been taking him again. If you learn nothing else from watching videos of Draft-a-Palooza, I like Pierce Hall. Do with that what you will. Janu Smith, my anchor tight end. We got Drake May in there. We got him paired up with Kyle Williams and Stephon Diggs. Was going to try to get Hunter Henry, didn't work out. Added a couple of other quarterbacks here because we took a quarterback late, so we want to fill it out with some more of them, and then just filled out the rest with injury fill-in potential running backs like Shipley, Lloyd, Gordon, with Coker and Jatavian Sanders paired up with Bryce Young. Scott, tattoo. Strong start with Puka and Brian Thomas Jr., and then Cook and Omarion. Okay, Hunter and Ridley. I like it. Bo Nix, fine. Does he coordinate with any of these? No, but still fine. Aaron Jones, don't need that, but, could do worse. Mims Jr. is good with Bo Nix. I like that. Bajal. We got T-Law in there. Brian Thomas. So this is well thought through. Thomas Jr. and Hunter and my young Padawan. The only thing you messed up on here was taking Leggett. Why would you do that? You wanted him. Good stuff. Good overall. Some backup running backs. Tyler Higbee. Even added in Devon Vele to try to beef up that stack. Really good draft there, Tattoo. So good stuff, guys. Everybody did a good job. I can't complain about any of those drafts. Well done. Well thought through. It's impressive. Gotta put your thought in your draft. You guys ready for another one? Want to do a second one? How many of these do I have left? I feel like I've drafted a ton of these. Like, I don't even understand why I still have spots up. This is the problem. It takes so long to do these drafts. All right, going in for another one. Same one. Play action. Anybody want to join? Oh, you want to go Millie Maker this time? Fine. You know what? Let's do a Millie Maker. You know what? All you cheapos, got to suck it up. I probably have a free ticket for a Millie Maker or something. No, I don't. Smart guys. Everybody's smart guys. Let's go for the Millie Maker. Fuck it. Let's go for the big one. I don't like doing the Millie Maker. Yeah, part of the reason I like doing the $3 one, not trying to seem like a cheapo. $2 million to first. Part of the reason I like doing the other one is because it's hard to win these contests in particular. Like I said, I feel much better about my chances on Underdog. Just those contests are smaller. These ones against 500,000 people, the contest is so freaking big. Let's see what the payout is on this thing. Actually, fuck it. All right, I'll do one. Ready? All right, it's the Millie Maker this time. $15 million, $2 million to first. Clicking enter, 30-second time. We're going to pay attention here. This one entry is worth 6 of the smaller ones. 6 of 12, guys. So let's see if the chat wants to step up to the Millie Maker, the big time. For some reason, we're all like, yeah, $20 on, the big contest on Underdog, sure, but these ones feel slower. Let's see what's going on. Edit rankings. Look at the rankings again. Have I changed? Yes. Kyron Williams. Oh, the temperature. There it is. Red CYC is in here with me. Let's go. Reset to default. Confirm. Okay. Let's use default rankings this time. Back to contest. Oh, we're full. Here we go. I'm on the clock. Oh, all right. Let's see who's in here. Red CYC in there. Soups is in here. No Drago. Drago said, no, I'm not paying no $20. I get it. I get it. All right. So I'm at pick number 5. Yeah, there it is. What's up, man? Welcome to the comment section. Appreciate you. Appreciate you consuming the content and hanging out. Now we're drafting together. Now you're gonna have to experience me taking down this league. You'll be like, I fucking drafted that shit with that guy. I'm rooting for him now. If I can't win, I just want him to win. I feel that way about you guys. Like, if we're gonna be in a draft together, if I can't win, I want you to win. Yeah. No, it's hot. It's hot here, but I got a pool, bro. I fucking live large. I got a pool. It's warmed up. The only thing is, like, you know, I'm outside. I go outside, feel hot. I go in the pool. I made smash burgers last night. It was crazy. Sweating my balls off. Like, you're on the grill in this heat, sweating. But you got to smash up those burgers. What are you going to do? Not smash the burger? Oh, he's got that shit. That's what's up. Yeah. That's what's up. Hell yeah. The difference between you and me, Tattoo, I can't go outside and just spark up a doob. Got my kids here. Got people watching me. But like a summer day, like midday smoke sesh, why not? I still can't believe, Tattoo, you were hanging out with Josiah. It's wild. Yeah, me too. I'm doing it for the show. I'm doing it for the content. By the way, for some reason, I feel better about the 15 and 20s on Underdog. I don't know why. I feel like the same reason why, if it's a 500,000 person GPP, I don't like to do $20 entries. I just think you're probably going to lose those. So, you know, there's no difference between a 3 and a 20. And if you win, it's still really awesome on the $3 one. So why not? I'd probably, my money sense tells me I'd rather just do 10 entries in a $3 contest than one, or, you know, let's say 20 $3 ones instead of 3 of these 20s. All right, so let's see what's going on. Left me Jahmyr Gibbs. We got CeeDee Lamb. Should I go a little different with this one? What can Lamb do for you? Yeah, fuck it. All right, I have an idea. What's the put the link up? Where is that link? Hold on. Let's see what the merch store looks like. Let's see what the merch store looks like. There it is. Oh, that's fire. The turd. Trust the pro. Shark Lab got a shirt. It's pretty fun. Classic DFS Army hoodie. Beautiful on the front. What would Bobby Wow do? That is a good question. What would he do? You need more products on here, Tattoo. What is this? There we go. Some more tattoos. Some more. Oh, back to the show. Wait, I'm up. Did I pick? No. All right. No. All right, good. This is moving slower than I thought. The Pitbull, 10 max, $20. Yeah, we'll do that. I'll be back to Underdog on Friday. I just figured one day a week we'll do some DraftKings. You know, a lot of people, you know, I don't know. I don't know what people want to see. How did you lose the show me your tutties? They took it away? Like, the show me your tutties was one of my favorites. They took it away? What's going on? Ooh, this is getting weird. Jonathan Taylor in round 1. Achan all the way up here. Bucky Irving. That's way soon for Bucky. What is going on with this draft? All right, so this got a little weird. There goes Amon-Ra, Lad McConkey a little sooner than he normally goes. Hank Farley. Hank Farley is here. So only Soups from the chat and Red CYC is in this draft. Andrew Nolan, are you in here, man? I did DraftKings almost exclusively for you. Or yeah, I kind of remember that. Let's see what's going on here. We got running backs, Chabro. I got Jacobs here. Got T. Higgins. So all the droppers didn't make it to me except for Brock Bowers. I'm doing it. I don't blame you guys. Don't feel any kind of bad for not joining this one, $20 draft. But like Andrew Nolan, I did this shit for you. Like Andrew's been asking me to go back to DraftKings. I'm like, all right, let's do this. I went back to it. But this is it. So we're going to get 2 drafts in today. We got to pay close attention on this one. Of course, my more expensive draft is the worst one. Like, you need to have some balance. This one went a little weird. There's Chase. I was kind of hoping Chase would make it back to me. You know, what is his ADP at this point? I've seen Chase Brown go late in the third. I see him go late in the second. Like, the guy's all over the place. G. Whizlers. Love him. Yeah, he's all over the place, Chase Brown. I kind of thought I'd get him on the way backs. Although I like this start with Barkley and Brown too. I've done that myself from that spot. Marvin Harrison Jr., I believe, is a hopium pick, guys. You ever smoke opium? Hopium is like that, except it's this high you get from the hope that something will happen, even though there's no, like, genuinely almost no evidence that says that thing should happen. Like, why would, I'm not saying it won't, but why would Harrison be that much better than he was last year? All right. Literally left me no choice. I don't have a lot of exposure to Josh Jacobs this year, but let's see. I already have that position. I mean, I could go Lamar and just make this that or JSN, but no, I need a stud running back. We're going to go with Jacobs. The reason I don't like Jacobs that much is they ran him so hard last year. It was all volume based that I'm like, will they do that again? I don't know. Will he get hurt this year? I don't know. But if you're going to give him that much, yeah. So RB10, ADP 27.8. Like, his ADP was right where I was picking in the third round. I thought I might get him there. Which is the one that you're maxing, Andrew Nolan? The $3? I'm assuming it's got to be the $3. I'm going to be maxed out of that one soon enough. And then we'll have to see. So there goes JSN, Jacobs, Breece Hall. I don't like Breece Hall very much this year. Yeah, this one. On DraftKings. Yeah. This is it. This is the one, the Millie Maker. You're going to max the Millie Maker, Andrew Nolan? It's expensive. It's expensive. Why not just do the $3 one? Yeah. I don't know if it's because of me, but I told you in the beginning that Chase Brown is going. These are, when I started doing these streams, we picked out a few players. I was like, there's no way you're not going to be getting this guy in round 3, round 4. You know, we saw a few of those. The early season stuff is always weird. Oh, yeah, you got the BOGO. A lot of people got that BOGO this year. DraftKings called me up. They're like, hey, promote. I was like, all right, pay me. And then they were like, no. But I do it anyway. I'm a fucking sucker. I'm a big sucker. I said, promote. I said, pay me. No. Can I get some free entries? Something? Nope. You get shit. The business of fantasy football. Ah, there you go. I think, like with anything else, it's beautiful to make a lot of entries and make your money back and all of that. It's a great thing. Again, I can't say enough. It's the off season. We're flexing our fantasy football muscles. We're thinking about fantasy football. We're strategizing. We're thinking about the players. We're doing all the things right now that are going to not just lead to good results in hopefully our best ball tournaments, but hopefully our season long and our DFS play this year, because we'll have our minds fresh on all these wide receivers, all these players. It keeps the mind active. Keep your mind thinking about this stuff. And I think that can only lead to good things. Jamal Williams goes. We're at pick 44. I got to take James Cook here. Why not? See, DraftKings does it right. There's fact 74. Got to get in here. What's up, man? Where are we? Got CeeDee Lamb, James Cook. Got Brock Bowers, stud tight end on my team. Super stud. Quarterback starting to go. Higgins, Brown, Barkley, McMillan. This guy's got Worthy and Rice. He's got to take Mahomes right here. Red CYC, you're in the chat with us, bro. You need to take Mahomes. You don't take Mahomes, you're risking it. You're risking it. Might not make it back. That was risky. Taking that chance. Okay, I have 2 running backs. I'm fine. We got some wide receiver talent floating around. Don't need that. QBs, I don't have anything to go along with those guys. I can wait a little bit. So I'm going to get my next running back here, Trey Henderson. I was going to take Omari and Hampton. Yeah, I think red, dangerous. Let's see if that works out. It might work out. How many players is too many to stack on a team? I think in this format, Hustlin, Bruce, you almost can't have too many. I'm fine with a 3-man stack. A 4-person's probably too much. Like, it's unlikely that a 4-person stack will actually work. But like 3-man, cool. So 2 pass catchers and a quarterback, perfection. I don't think you need more than that. If you accidentally have 3, it almost might be bad. Same thing with like GPP tournaments. As we build lineups for tournaments in season, is almost never a situation where a triple stack works. Double stack, sure. The occasions where stacking a quarterback with like more than 2 players on the same team, and that's the correct move, almost never happens. So it's probably a 2-person that you want to build, but which 2? All right, so let's see where my team is at. We've got 3 running backs, 1 wide receiver, stud tight end, no quarterback. So we've got our 3 running backs, 1 wide receiver. So the rest of this draft is going to have to be spent thinking about quarterbacks and wide receivers for the most part. There goes Baker Mayfield. Red CYC is now sweating out Pat Mahomes. I think it might work out. We'll see. There goes Jennings too soon. 6-1. I like Jacoby. Cooper Kupp, don't like that pick. Let's see. This guy's he's got Mayfield with Evans. He's got Burrow unstacked. That's a weird one. This dude, Hank Farley, took Allen and Jalen Daniels. This is a dead team, guys. So I like to point this out during the draft. When you do this, actually, Razor is out there, and you kind of, Ray, you kind of have this thought that might work. I continue to think that this will never work. This is just, your team is too weak. He's got no running backs now. Alvin Kamara, what are you going to do? I don't know. To me, it's a bad start. You can't take two quarterbacks that soon. Could be wrong. Maybe getting averaging 30 from the QB position will work out. This guy's got DJ Moore, so he's got DJ Moore and Odunze now. He's waiting on Flowers, or he's waiting on he's waiting on a QB. I'm gonna take Pearsall here. Debo's there. I'm going to take Pearsall. All right, so we are building. We've got Bowers on our team. He goes with Geno. We've got Pearsall. That's. But I got CeeDee Lamb. I was hoping for George Pickens, but he just is gone. So I can look at Dak. No, dude, you're going to risk it? Oh my gosh! If you. I mean, this MJ, the guy at the end does not have a quarterback, so you're risking it. The guy at the end not having a quarterback, that's dangerous. Yeah, I feel like MJ Gunnabe is going to take Mahomes if you didn't take him there. If this person and the guy at the end, if he had a quarterback already, I would have risked it and said, you know what? Pantera's not taking another quarterback. He's got Hurts. But this dude at the end, he might have taken a QB. That's dangerous. Remember, there's a run on quarterback that starts to happen pretty soon after this round. So I think we're getting pretty close to where that run does tend to happen. Running back situation, getting kind of thin. I've got 3. Could use a 4th one, but my softest group is definitely wide receiver. That's the one I need to continue to beef up here. I have 3 starting running backs. I think I'm okay there. I've got Brock Bowers. He'll hold down the tight end spot all year. So I think that for my team, I need to start really filling in these wide receivers and at some point get a quarterback going. He got Laporta there. All right, Godwin, K-Shack, Ayuk. I could take Ayuk and get a backdoor. It's very soon for him. No. I went with Diggs again. Same reason I took him the last draft. I just really think that Diggs is going to be the WR1 for his team. It's also a fairly easy team to build a stack around as well. Hank Farley just going to do it without running backs. You don't care. It's I don't give a shit. Fuck running backs. I got 2. Hank Farley's going to try to play Josh Allen and Jaden Daniels as running backs. They don't let you do that, bro. Oh, that dude's on auto draft already, so that's why. Yeah, I think the one thing you do see with DK is you get the dull drafters, right? This guy's already on auto draft. He fucked it up. Maybe it auto drafted. I didn't look before. Maybe it auto drafted Allen, Jaden Daniels. I don't know. But, that's somebody on the toilet. And when you have the quote dullards, it increases your odds of making it to the playoff weeks. If you get a couple of mistake makers in your draft, hey, give me a 2-10 shot instead of a 2-12. It's a little better. Okay, thank you. Sometimes these guys though will mess things up in terms of like eating all the quarterbacks in a draft early, and then like when you're in the main draft, you're like, my team had a disadvantage because some idiot, took 5 quarterbacks in the first 6 picks. But they negate those a lot of times too. All right, let me start to think about my team. I've got Lamb, Pearsall, and Diggs, and Bowers. Those are my pass catchers. Quarterbacks available, Nix, Goff. So everybody's still available. I'm definitely light at wide receiver right now. There's no doubt about that. I can do something really interesting here. Oh, I was going to take Ayuk and kind of start to just, I don't really have a lot of exposure to Ayuk. I barely took any Ayuk this year, but that's unfortunate. Took him from me. Let's see, tight end, QB. Should I get my first quarterback and just go with somebody I like here? Yes, fuck it. We'll go Bo Nix. I didn't get 2 of anybody. If I had gotten Ayuk, I probably would have just taken Purdy there and kind of started that stack, but I didn't. So nothing to talk about. Red CYC, looks like they gave you Kelsey. Wow, what a gift. What a gift. Don't fuck it up. Yeah. Yeah. Was it the second round? Like I'm reaching a little bit, but yeah. Well, this is so Stephen Hacker. Yes. This is what happens. When you reach for a luxury player, be it this tight end that I took a luxury tight end, that's a luxury tight end, right? Brock Bowers early. You're scrambling for the rest of your draft. So you got to draft really well to make up for it. Am I making up for it? I don't know. But you're scrambling, right? I got CeeDee Lamb, Bowers, and it's like, all right, got Josh Jacobs. We had to get the 3. We needed our running backs. Got to get the running back. And I'm like, holy shit. I don't really have much going on at wide receiver. I still only have 3. Still need to add more wide receiver talent. We are not anywhere near good enough at this moment. It just is what it is. You're scrambling the whole time when you take the luxury pick. You're just scrambling. It's like, do I grab more QBs right now? I probably could have waited on Nix. I'm going to take, there's Dak, so he's gone. I'm going to take Mims Jr. and pair him up with Bo Nix. I like Mims Jr. I haven't gotten nearly as much of him as I want this year, so I'll call that a little bit of a reach. But I guess the one good thing that's going on right here is I don't need to really overly think tight ends. I'll grab another one, or 2 even, but much later in the draft, having Bowers to hold it down. So while other people are taking kind of these also good but secondary tight ends, I'll just continue to build up the rest of my my team and hopefully, make it work. Yeah, you can with the stud. I don't go 2 tight end just because in those last couple of rounds, tight ends seem to be like the most likely players to score for us. So even though you could, I would say I don't care. I'll still get that 3rd tight end just because in round 20 or 19 or whatever, what else do you get? But I'm not wasting good capital on it. It's not just about how many of a position you have. It's how much draft capital did I spend to get that guy. So if I'm spending very, very late picks, all right. That's not hard. That's not causing an issue for my team. If I spend early picks on those guys, like if I took Evan Ingram also, right? Hey, nice to go with Bo Nix and Evan Ingram. Well, why did I take Brock Bowers? And then I took Evan Ingram in round 8 or 9, right? That's too soon. That's strong draft capital. Oh, I was going to take Jordan Mason there. But you took my guy. You took my dog. Took my job. What's that thing? Yeah. Should we go KC? Keon, QBs, Herbert. Yeah, we're going to go Keon Coleman here. Again, I don't love Keon Coleman, but who the hell else is going to break out for Buffalo? Why don't they get him wide receivers? What? Well, Buffalo's allergic to wide receivers. What is the problem? What's the problem? Who the fuck is in charge of that team? You have a great quarterback and you refuse to get wide receivers that are not terrible? Why? Why? Well, I want to prove that we don't need wide receivers. Is that what you're really trying to do? Because you got to play against the Chiefs and you got to play against the Ravens. And in order to beat those teams, you got to be able to score. So bring in ne'er-do-wells, Josh Palmer, who sucks. What? That's who you thought? That's how you solved your wide receiver group? You get Keon Coleman. Keon Coleman, rookie, didn't look that great. Curtis Samuel, been around the league for 10 years, hasn't never done shit. That's the solution, Buffalo, for your quarterback problems? What the fuck? What's wrong with people? It's not a solution. That's just craziness. You don't do that. Get him a player. I think the Bills should sign Keenan Allen. Bring in Keenan Allen. What else is he doing? He ain't got shit to do. He's sitting at home. Available. He was good last year. It wasn't great. So what? He was good enough. He was good enough. No, was he great? No, but he was good enough. Is Drake May gone? Yeah. Njoku, we're getting that next level. And Njoku goes. I think I need another quarterback here. I'm going with T-Law. Just to get that second quarterback already. I've got no correlation that I can even build with Trevor Lawrence. All his guys are gone. Uncorrelated. Red eyes, red CIC. Your draft is looking really good. Bateman, a touchdown scorer, sure. I debated Bateman over Coleman a full, almost like 10 picks ago. I wasn't sure which one I was going to take. Red CYC. This draft looks pretty good. Beautiful Mahomes stack. Stud tight end. Solid running backs, I think, especially late. Like, this is a nice group. Omarion, Aaron Jones, all right, a little injury prone, but Pollard, okay. Dobbins might emerge. It's pretty good. Bateman, pretty good. Soups is in here. Soups, what do you have going on? Neighbors, Amon-Ra, Lamar, Tyreek Hill. I don't have much of him at all. Triple tap the running backs here after the wait. Another running back there. So, and then backing up Lamar with Tua. All right. See a little run on QBs go. When you see Tua going, you know shit's hitting the fan. This seems like a bargain price for CJ Stroud. Man, how the mighty have fallen. This kid was, after year one, was looking like a stud, and now he's averaging 14. You know, he had that terrible year last year, and now no one wants anything to do with CJ Stroud. I think CJ Stroud is somewhere in between what he was his freshman year and his sophomore year, right? Like, he looked almost too good in terms of scoring his freshman year, and then last year kind of like reversed, Mixon getting all the touchdowns. I think we're going to see something in the middle this year. A little more, like not this 14.5. I think we'll see, like, you know, with CJ Stroud, he'll raise his average up to 18. Be kind of like a normal pocket passer. It's okay to wait on Tua with Soups because he's got Lamar. So you just need the injury fill in. All right, let's take a look at the board. I could still get Penix if I wanted a third quarterback. No one else really. Running back group. Everybody's gone. Anybody who's starting is gone. I'm going to go with my 140. No, it's too soon for that. Kyle Williams, Hollywood, Basil, Trey Benson. Let's go with Benson here. So I talked up a lot earlier about how the best way to win one of these is to take handcuff running backs, but unstacked on your team, right? How do you win? Trey Benson comes in and he wins you your league. Jalen Wright comes in and he wins you your league. And you're also not sacrificing the guy you took earlier. So I took Trey Benson there. Yeah, I got that third. A lot of people getting that third QB in. So we're seeing a lot of, 1-1, but we got 3. We got 3 on this guy too. Everybody has their 2 quarterbacks. Some are starting to get their third. Running back group. Everybody looks pretty okay. 4-4-4, 4-5-3-3-3. So we got 3s and 4s at running back. Wide receiver 5-5-5-5-5. All right, so we're all kind of evened up. Here's a 4. Everybody's evened up. 0 tight ends there for Hank Farley. Auto drafting. Who cares? His team's already dead. He's already dead. There's at least one dead team in almost every draft that we've done. Not all, but most have like one team that's just dead. Quentin Johnston goes. Basil Tootin has some chance to emerge. I think Garendo is a guy that can lead your team to victory with an injury this year. Jaden Blue might be that guy. Still some decent wide receivers left. I still have not taken my second tight end. Don't need him. Got Brock Bowers. Don't need a second guy yet. We'll get one. I'm going to go with my Wandy. I have a lot of exposure to Wandale. I love Wandale this year, guys. I take him a little ahead of his ADP. Let me show you why I like Wandale Robinson. Let me show you why. Why do I like Wandale? It's not because of the results. 10 fantasy points per game, though, is not bad. And really the best of anybody available around this pick. But here's what's more important. We know the Giants haven't really done anything at wide receiver. Same group. We believe that they've improved at quarterback because Tommy Cutlets and Daniel Jones, probably less good than whatever they have going on now. Russell Wilson should be a little better. Certainly the rookie should be better than what they had. But this guy was getting 11, 12, 9, 11. These are the target numbers. 11, 14, 9, 8, 12. So how many games where this guy has double-digit targets? I don't care about these dud games. All I care about are these teenage, 18s, the teen scores, the 15s, the 8. Is this guy going to get me 25s and 30s? No. But can he fill in that WR3 or flex spot for me on weeks where all of my starters, all of my studs, the ones I paid money for, let me down? And to that, the answer is yes. He can fill in. So I always get Wandale for that reason. That was Hunter Henry. Hunter Henry, I think, has a lot of upside this year, too. He's a really sneaky best ball kind of guy. Look, he averaged 9.3, and he gets you these games. The 12s, the 17s, the 15s. There's your 20-pointer. Nothing crazy, but he gives you, usable tight end scores when you need them. All right, I'm back on the clock. Oh, Gesicki's there. I can get our Jalen Wright is there. Fits our, yeah, you know what? I'm going Jalen Wright because he suits what I said before. A guy who, if an injury I don't have Achane. So if an injury happens, Jalen Wright. I am now full at running back, 2 QBs, 1 tight end, 6 wide receivers. So for the rest of my draft, I'll try to get another quarterback if I miraculously get one more. Seems unlikely. We're going to get a second tight end, and we'll just fill in more wide receivers along the way. That's it. We're almost done. Nothing more. Not much else I can do. Red gets Aaron Rodgers to complete the trio of quarterbacks. Everybody else has 2. No one has 1. Quarterback's pretty much done. I don't like Aaron Rodgers. I almost think he's like useless. Highly unlikely that Aaron Rodgers will really ever outscore Geno or Mahomes. Is this guy on auto pick? Is that what just happened? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Pantera light on running back. UCF. There's another UCF. University of Central Florida. I don't know. You're getting anything out of AA Ron, bro. Dude, it's garbage. By the way, the common consensus at this point is that Daniel Jones is more likely to play more games than wait. Russell Wilson is still better than Tommy Cutlets from last year. And he's probably better than Drew Lock from last year. And he's probably better. See, I don't get it, by the way. I'll go back. Why would you take Aaron Rodgers and not Sam Darnold? Why not take Sam Darnold? So UCF, Golden Knights. Yeah, Central Florida. Is that what the UCF guys in here? Are we talking Central Florida? Is that what you're promoting there? Let me just show you something. Sam Darnold averaged 19.3. Now, yes, was he on that team that scores a lot? Sure. But he averaged 19.3 fantasy points per game. Multiple games over 20, 28, 23, 37, 25, 25. Like, this guy was fine. And then I'm going to look at, and again, this is not predictive. We don't know, but Aaron Rodgers averaged 16. Well, he got a 30 burger in there once, a 25 or so. Had a couple good games, but for the most part, sub 20s. I don't know. I guess it doesn't really make that big of a difference. There goes the run on secondary tight ends. The bye week. Okay, so you were thinking. That's good. I don't even think. I just do. Yeah, I'm good with my QBs. Of course, both Lawrence and Darnold are week 8, but Bo Nix will be there for me. Lawrence, Darnold, Nix. So as I'm continuing my my draft here, I'm going to see if we can get any sort of correlation going, but there shouldn't be much left. Yeah, that's pretty much toast. Wide receivers are toast. Still a decent tight end or two floating around, but not many. What the fuck happened in this draft? We got this many rounds left? Surprising. DeAndre Hopkins. All right. Time to get my second tight end. Go Jawan. Yeah, I agree. I think you wait on quarterback, and for some reason everybody hates Darnold. I think they think Milroe is going to play. Milroe is not going to play. Seattle paid Darnold $100 million. $100 million, guys. The kid's going to play. They brought him in to be the starter. He's going to play. Looking at my draft again, 5 RBs, 6 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. So I just need wide receivers and tight ends to finish this thing out. I don't love the wide receivers that are floating around, but at this point in the draft, anybody who even contributes even a week or two, that's kind of a win. Tight end position, pretty much the same at this point. Like, you can get anybody who's kind of with a heartbeat and a pulse, you're doing okay. There's a few tight ends left that kind of have that description, but I don't know. I feel like the board just got wiped out earlier than usual. Like, where did everybody go? Where is everyone? Where are all the players? Yeah, I got to go wide receiver. And there we go. The guy from the Raiders who seems to be taking over that WR2 spot. Why not? YOLO. Yeah, is it the auto drafter? Who's taking all the players? Here's another auto drafter coming up. Drumheller. Drumheller. I know someone named Drumheller. Maybe that's him. Yeah. Yeah. Darnold had that same week 8 bye that Trevor Lawrence has, but I don't think it matters. With 3, it doesn't really matter that much. My bye weeks are not too bad. Usually it's week 14. That's the dangerous week that got to pay attention to. It's not too bad. See what the board looks like. All right, so we're coming on the last pick of this draft. Tolbert I like. Lockett is good. Fine picks late. That's who everybody's going to have. It's really interesting on the last pick to kind of scroll down and say, all right, try to get a player that other people simply won't have on their team. I don't think you're going to really find that at running back. I think at wide receiver, we can do a little scrolls and see. And there are some names. That other people won't have that might be interesting. Let's see how much time we have to scroll down. Westbrook Akine, Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams. No one's talking about him. Scroll down some more. Kendrick Bourne, Patrick. No, these are all such turds that there's almost nothing that could bring them around. Rainberry McLeod had a couple good games last year. Could give you a useful game. Soups has no idea where to go. Valdez Scantling could be worse. Has a pop game every once in a while. Noah Brown is somebody that's not like the worst possible play in the world. Let's see, though. How many tight ends do I have? Just 2. So I'm going tight end here. Higbee Smalls. Close it out. Could have gone Jatavian Sanders as well. Could have gone Jatavian. I'm starving. It's like by the end of the stream, I'm starving. Something about it. Make me hungry. You know what I'm having? Leftover smash burgers. I had an extra one. Lunch. That's what's up. Wait, do I have another pick? No. Oh, shit. I thought that was the end of the... Holy crap. How the hell are there so many more rounds left? Yeah, Noah Brown. Oh, I thought we were at the end of that. I was like, what? Where are all the players? Yeah, normally Jatavian Sanders gets drafted and Coker, all those guys. I was like, wait, what? This is weird. Jonathan Brooks is such a sad case. This guy, this is what I was talking about. Gets injured last year, comes in injured, gets the injury, loses a whole season. Now maybe his career is done. I don't know that he'll have a career after that. Russell Wilson. No one wants Russ, even with no, free. Like he's a starter, but like, nah, I don't want him. Go with Coker there. Last round. Let's see what the board looks like. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing left here. This is all just garbage picks. It's actually interesting to watch people's like garbage picks at the end of the draft, just to see if like somebody comes up with a name that you hadn't thought of, like, oh, where'd they pull that one from? And then you're like, oh, let me research that and see if that player has any life in him. Like Hunter Renfrow, bro? What is this guy auto drafting? Is this real? Soups? Hunter Renfrow? Dude, was this an auto pick? He hasn't been relevant in years. Soups, what happened there? Like, I like the Lockett pick, but Hunter Renfrow. Like, even this far down, you could still get players that play a little bit, like that see the field. Rather that. Take a shot on, Tank Dell's not coming back, but like, I don't think Amari Cooper's coming back either. But like, I don't know. You can take a shot on Mike Williams. What if he has a comeback resurgence with his boy Justin Herbert? What if that happens? Is it impossible? Just because he stunk with the Jets? Yeah, I mean, I'd rather go with this Savion Williams at that point. Deontay Johnson, could he have a comeback? Maybe. Why not Deontay? But I forgot about Deontay. Is that what happened? Yeah, we're not going tight end. Yeah, why not Deontay? Westbrook Akine on Miami? I'll go Deontay on this one. Deontay used to be good. Something happened. What happened to you, Deontay Johnson? When did you become bad? Why? Why did you become bad? All right, let's do a quick recap here, and we'll wrap up Draft-a-Palooza Wednesday here. So Red CYC, first time drafting with you. What's up? Welcome to the stream. Long time content absorber. Like, subscribe, notifications, whatever you need. I think this is a really good draft. You got Mahomes here with Worthy, Rice. Almost got, and Kelsey. So got the full Mahomes stack. This could be great in the playoffs. That's when Mahomes steps it up in the fantasy playoffs, week 15, 16. So this has potential. This team has potential. Got a stud tight end in there. Great. This is a really good team. Love the triple stack. Stud running back, Omari and Hampton. I don't love Jones, but kind of filled it out with some other upside running backs, which is fine. I think running back might be sketchy here, but listen, you got to give up something. You can't have it all. I love that you took the shot and you risked it for the extra full round and a half for Mahomes too. That's beautiful. So nicely done. Just got to, hope that these running backs will come through for you. I like some of the late wide receivers good too. I don't like Yoshivas. I would stay away from him, but Tillman, Roman Wilson, fine. And you actually literally nailed down. I like Tillman. I think he's got some serious upside. Let's see how my draft went here. I got Lamb, and then we took the luxury pick with Bowers. I felt like he dropped at 2.8, and that's why I took him there. Sketchy. Oh, Pantera's in C2. There you are. I did not see you. Patera, 1959. So what's up? 1959. Let's see what Patera did. All right, so I like this draft. So okay, we'll talk about it. Barkley, Brown, Higgins, little combo of Higgins and Brown, little mini stack on Cincinnati. Jalen Hurts, don't need to stack him. Tet McMillan, love that. Connor, Debo. So really good start here. 3 really good running backs. You got 3 solid wide receivers and a super stud at the quarterback position. Igbuka in there, fine. Herbert, whatevs. But hey, you matched him up with Harris, and Quentin Johnston. So really, really good correlation right there. Dimes early. Miles Sanders, not sure about that, but at this point, who cares? So Pantera, pretty good. Arroyo has upside. Yeah, I've heard the name Arroyo. I want to, he's on, I'm assuming, wait, tell me what team Arroyo's on. Tennessee? Going up against Chig, right? I don't know if Higgins. Wait. What are we talking about? Higbee. Yeah, Tyler Higbee. Everybody thinks he's competing for targets. I don't know. I don't know that that's the case just because they drafted someone. I don't know. Take him this late. Who cares? I generally don't want tight ends that have a lot of competition, though, for touches. Seattle, Arroyo. Yeah, Arroyo's going up against Noah Fant. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. I don't think any of them are going to be anything special. Let me put it this way. Not even worth giving that much thought to those turds because they're fucking turds. The only other person in this draft with us, I went through mine here. So I got Lamb. I got Lamb early, got the stud tight end, triple tapped the running backs, Jacobs, Cook, and Henderson. I think that's great for the season. Got Pearsall, Diggs. Paired up Bo Nix with Mims Jr. And then a T-Law backup. And then for me here, this was about what I talked about at the beginning of this draft, which was get the Trey Bensons, get the Jalen Wrights, get the Garendos. Don't have the handcuff. Have these guys that if their starter goods hurt and you have this guy, you don't lose a player. You just gain a player. That's how you win a GPP. You got everything has to go right. So do not handcuff. Just take those guys who can elevate into starters. I mean, imagine Connor gets hurt early and Benson just becomes the starting running back on a team that produces really, really well to running backs. And I get that guy in round 13 or round 12. That's a material advantage to my team that will allow me to beat your team if that happens. But if I had done this by previously drafting Connor, I no longer have that material edge. That's why you want to do that and not handcuff, I think. Darnold in there late, just that backup quarterback when I didn't spend that much draft capital on quarterbacks. Spent very late draft capital backing up Brock Bowers. If Brock Bowers is not producing and smashing most weeks for my team, I'm not going to win anyway. Doesn't even matter. And then we closed it out with a couple more wide receivers just to fill those spots in. Fucking Millie Maker, guys. We're not going to do a lot of these on DraftKings because the $3 one's available, and why not do the cheaper one? It's not like the prize is that different. I don't expect to win $2 million. Would love to. A lot of bragging rights. You win the $2 million. Just the bragging rights alone is good. Good coach speak. Orlando Gadsden. Okay. Got to go to the coach speak index and listen up. I have not really thought about Oronde Gadsden. Is he another rookie? I know they got Tyler Conklin on that team. They got a lot of tight ends there. Maybe too many tight ends. Maybe not for this year. Might have to wait a year on that one. I think they got a lot of names at the Chargers at tight end. It's too many names. Maybe too many names. All right. That's going to do it, guys. Draft-a-Palooza Wednesday. We did DraftKings. We'll be back on Friday, as usual, at noon. Make sure to come back, check it out, hang out. I appreciate all you guys hanging out with me. We're drafting all summer long. We're having a palooza of drafts. We're just going to have fun, keep doing these. By the time the season rolls around, we're going to have done a ton of these drafts. We'll do a ton of them together. We'll do a lot of that. Later on, as the off season wears on, as the summer wears on, I'm going to start dropping regular fantasy football stuff, just talking about my favorite sleepers, some strategies for how to attack the draft. But you guys are hanging out with me. You're going to know what those things are because we're talking them through during these streams. And I'll also be doing, make sure to be around here in August where we're going to do back testing of the entire 2024 season. We're going to redo it. We're going to run the optimizer. We're going to learn how to do the settings in the optimizer to attack DFS. So make sure you're doing that. Andrew Nolan, got to set that notification button. Hit the notification button and let you know when we go live on these streams. So there we go. Pantera, awesome for having you in the draft today. You as well. Red CYC, Red Chick. Good to have you in the stream as well. We'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. Deuces.